welcome back to my channel. My name is Leanna. Today I'm going to be doing a collaboration with my friend Portia from the channel PortiaPans. She's a huge part of the panning community, which means that she likes to finish up different projects using a project pan. And she usually does like themed projects, so like X-Men, Harry Potter, and she usually tries to pan a certain amount of things by a certain date, so like 13 by Halloween, that sort of thing. And she usually does project panning as a form of makeup rehab, so a way of using up things that she has so that she doesn't buy more makeup. But she is a really fun person. She talks a lot about different issues, kind of like I do. She talks about brands that she doesn't support. She talks a lot about things like Jeffree Star and the things that he's done. And so if you like some of the videos that I do, I think that you'll probably like her too. And she's talked about makeup as a special interest for people with autism. She has autism, and I think that you would enjoy her channel. So I'll have her video and her channel info linked down below. We are combining two video ideas today. We're doing one of my ideas and one of Portia's ideas. And I thought that we'd start with mine and segue into hers, just because I kind of had this idea of how it would flow. We're doing the pros and cons of brand loyalty and what to do when you no longer support a brand. So I figure by starting with mine, we could kind of get to the things that you can kind of do when you no longer support the brand that you were once loyal to. So I'm going to kind of alternate pros and cons. So starting with a pro, the more that you get to know a brand and their products, the more you can kind of feel out whether or not you like the brand and their formulas. So let's say, take a brand that is really popular, Anastasia Beverly Hills. A lot of people have become quite knowledgeable about that brand and its formulas, to the point where they already kind of know going into it what to expect, and they already know whether or not they want to buy from the brand. And so when you have this kind of loyalty to a brand and their products, you can kind of go into a line of products and just buy it without ever having tried it. I used to do this with movies. When I heard that somebody I liked was in a movie, I would just buy it sight unseen just because it had somebody I liked in it. And I do this sometimes with makeup. Well, it's from a brand I like, say Igneous Cosmetics, and I really like their eyeshadows, so I feel comfortable purchasing from them even though I haven't tried this new product. The con is that you may stop purchasing from different brands. You may stop trying new things. And additionally, if your favorite brand does come out with a new product and it doesn't meet your expectations, the likelihood that you're going to be more disappointed it's kind of up there. Whereas if it was a brand that maybe you'd never heard of, or maybe you've never tried, your disappointment factor is probably going to be a lot lower than if it's a brand that you really favor. So here's another pro for you. The more you buy from a brand, particularly the smaller brands, and the more you give them a spot on your platform, the more likely it is that they'll kind of return the favor and give you more visibility on their page as well, because you're offering them free support. Well, it's not necessarily free support because you are going out and buying their products to feature on your page. Yeah, the more likely it is that they may feature one of your photos on their page. The more likely it is that they'll shout you out on their social media. The more likely it is that they may send you a free gift or offer you PR. The con is that not all brands run their pages equally. So as much as there are a lot of accounts that are really friendly and approachable, there are some accounts that aren't. And so if you start to feature a brand over and over and tag them in your posts and have other people tag them for you, sometimes people do that, they may actually start to get hostile. I've seen brands do this to other people, where the more you tag them in your looks, And the more that you comment on their posts, the more likely they are to actually block you, which is, in my opinion, not cool, not good at all, because you're blocking a customer that is giving you your money and giving you all of that exposure, and you're returning them with a block instead of a thank you. But this does happen sometimes. Pro, you are building a strong relationship with a brand. You're getting to trust them, you're getting to trust their products, and in some cases, you may even be building a rapport with the people who run the brand behind the scenes. In cases such as an indie brand, it's usually just one person, sometimes 2 or 3 people, and it's a lot easier to build a relationship with a brand that small. And so the more you buy from them, the more you get to know them, get to talk to them, you might actually build a relationship with a brand. But here comes the biggest con of all. When it's revealed that a brand's core values actually don't align with your own, because chances are if you're loyal to a brand, you are picking brands that you feel do align with your morals and values. When it's revealed that they don't, it's going to be a really huge blow. I'm going to give you a personal example. If you've been here a while, then you already know. But last year, when it was revealed that Kat Von D was, well, some people already knew that she was anti-Semitic. I didn't know that. She was anti-Semitic, and she also came out as anti-science and anti-vaxxer. So that was a huge blow for me because I already had purchased a lot of her products the past few years. And so it feels like a huge blow because you've sunk a lot of your money into someone's brand. It's not just a thing, it's a person. Only to find out that maybe they're a huge bigot, and well, what are you going to do with all that product, right? So the thing with brand loyalty too is that sometimes we feel like we're almost obligated to defend a brand, which isn't good when it does come down to a brand owner being a really not very good person. Maybe they are racist, maybe they're anti-Semitic, maybe they're homophobic, any number of things combined even. But we've maybe defended a brand for a long time on any number of smaller things, such as their eyeshadow formula is getting worse over time. You know, that's a small thing to defend a brand on. But when something really major happens, what do we do? Because it becomes more of a moral dilemma. And some of us kind of feel like we should step up and say something, but it's not right. And we know that.
Basically, I've noticed there's a tendency to want to give our favorites a pass because they're our favorites, but to call out other brands for the same racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, homophobic behaviors. If we're not calling out these behaviors equally across the board, then it is purely performative. I discussed this more in depth with my friends Maitreyi and Camille in a video regarding accountability.
So what do we do with all this product that we have? That kind of becomes the problem where we have to figure out what to do when we no longer support a brand and a brand owner. I would say the first thing we have to do is figure out if this is a big enough offense to where we no longer want to purchase any products, period. We want to have a cooling off period. Figure out what it is we need to do. But usually if we're no longer supporting a brand, we're no longer supporting a brand, and that means cutting off all future purchases. But then we have to figure out what are we doing with the money we've already spent, because that money has already been spent. It's already been given to the company and the company owner. We can't take it back. So it's not as if we can really do anything about that. That's called a sunk cost. So now we have to take stock of all of the products we already own. When I was taking stock of everything I had from Kat Von D last year, I figured, okay, I have 2 liquid lipsticks. I have a bullet lipstick. I have 3 eyeshadow palettes, and I'm trying to think if I had anything else, but you know, it may not seem like a lot of products overall, but it was a lot of money, especially for somebody who is on a lower income, and that's one thing you have to factor into it. One thing you can do is use up the products that you already have in your collection. So people with larger channels, larger collections, and a larger income can afford to just replace the products that they have. But if you are somebody like me, I have a small channel, I have a smaller collection, and I don't have a lot of money. I can't easily replace products that I've already bought, especially when those products were filling huge holes in my collection. One thing you can do is donate it if it's unused product or if it's minimally used. Some makeup companies, there's like Project Beauty Share, things like that. They will accept makeup that isn't horribly used and horribly damaged. And you can also donate some makeup items, beauty items, hair items, nail items, things like that to shelters. You could also give it to a friend or a family member, somebody like that, if they want it. You could sell it. That is one thing that some people do with makeup. There are several different places online that will accept, again, minimally used or unused makeup as long as it has been thoroughly sanitized. You just have to be careful that the place that you're selling to is a reputable place. You could throw it out if it's something that has already been used up or you are very close to using up or is expired. And after picking any one of these options, you're probably going to look to replace it with a brand that has a similar shade, formula, and finish for whatever it is you're looking to replace. A lipstick, an eyeshadow, a cheek product, a foundation, whatever. Maybe it's a few different things. And you can buy from any number of brands. If you are no longer supporting a brand because it's not cruelty-free, you're probably looking to research some brands that are cruelty-free. If you're no longer supporting a brand because of ethics, then you're probably looking to research which brands align with you. And there is a certain amount of research involved these days when we're looking to shop from brands, because sometimes we start shopping from them and then stuff like this happens. And of course, the ultimate thing is that we're trying to avoid getting caught in the brand loyalty cycle again, because the more that we become loyal to a brand, the easier it is to fall into the trap of, well, they do something really wrong, they get caught up in something we don't agree with, and we have to look for a new brand to start all over again, and we're stuck with the products. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's probably better if we shop around from a few different brands and not get stuck shopping from just one or two. Because as much as a lot of us love Anastasia Beverly Hills, a lot of people love NYX makeup, MAC, any of these brands that are like really up at the top right now, they could do something at any time that could make them fall from the top. So maybe start looking towards indie brands. Indie brands seem to have the least amount of scandal from what I've seen. Although, of course, none of them are free from falling into this trap either. It's just one of those things we kind of have to not be surprised about when it does happen. All of these brand owners are human, and not every single thing that they do is going to be an immediately cancelable offense. That's the other thing too, is that I think we tend to overreact a little bit. I'm not saying that if a brand owner is racist, we shouldn't immediately stop buying from them, because we probably should. But a lot of people make small mistakes, and a lot of us are quick to just step off the gas pedal and walk away from a brand before we've even given them a chance to react. but that's probably a topic for another video. So those are my thoughts on the pros and cons of brand loyalty, as well as what to do when you stop supporting a brand. And I would love for you to head over to Portia's video. I'm sure she has some completely different thoughts than myself. Maybe she has some similar thoughts too. I'm not sure because I haven't seen her video yet. I post Mondays and Fridays here on this channel in the afternoons Eastern time. Subscribe if you want to, and if you don't want to, that is okay too. I appreciate any support that you want to give. I also post quite frequently on Instagram and Patreon if you would like to head over there and see any of the posts I make. I have all of my details listed down in the description box, including my makeup as always. Thank you so much for being here. Leave your comments down below so we can talk more about this, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye everyone.